The scream started around 8:30 on a Saturday evening, not the kind of screams that make you grab the phone and dial 911, but that unmistakable mix of shrieking disgust and stunned disbelief. From my bench over by the community herb garden, I had a front row seat to the whole mess. Dozens of folks were scrambling out of the water, their skin and swimsuits coated in thick neon green slime that looked like it was straight out of some Nickelodeon nightmare. And smack dab in the center of it all was Brianna Keller, our beloved HOA president, looking like the star of a very low-budget sci-fi horror flick. Her designer swimsuit was now a clinging green mess, her bleached hair dripping slime like soggy seaweed. And she was yelling louder than anyone else, flailing and pointing wildly at the pool. I took a slow sip of my iced tea and let the moment soak in. I've been planning this for over a week. Name's Jake Harris. I've been the unofficial maintenance guy for Brookview Reserve, a tidy little gated community of 42 homes, for the past 5 years. It's not a paid job or anything. I just kinda slipped into it after I retired from my engineering career. Kept me busy. Gave me something to care about. I took pride in keeping the shared spaces clean. Especially our pool. We had rules posted nice and big right there at the gate. No glass, no pets, no unsupervised kids, and definitely no pool parties without board approval. Oh, and of course, no entry while the pool's closed for maintenance. Those weren't just suggestions. They were there for a reason: safety, liability, and keeping things fair for everyone. Most folks understood that. Brianna, though, she thought rules were for other people. She moved in about 3 years ago and wasted no time making her presence felt. Complained about everything: your grass too tall, your dog barking, your kid riding a scooter too fast. 6 months ago, she somehow charmed enough neighbors to get elected HOA president. Said she wanted to bring more community spirit, but really she just wanted to throw parties for her book club and real estate buddies using our pool and clubhouse like her own private country club. She'd already hosted 2 unauthorized events before the big one. Claimed she forgot to submit the paperwork both times. The board gave her a warning, then another. And then came the party that broke the dam. 2 weeks before Slidegate, I closed the pool for its annual deep cleaning and chemical balancing. Takes a few days, and nobody's supposed to go near the water. I'd put up flyers, sent out an email blast, even strung bright yellow caution tape across the gate with a giant "closed for maintenance" sign. You could read that thing from outer space. So imagine my surprise when I showed up one morning to find the lock cut clean through, tape hanging in tatters, and Brianna standing poolside, clipboard in hand, directing a catering crew like she was hosting a poolside wedding. "We're throwing a neighborhood appreciation party." She beamed, all smug. I told her the pool wasn't safe. Chlorine was too high. pH was still adjusting. It could cause skin burns, eye irritation, the works. She waved me off with her perfectly manicured hand. "Jake," she said, using that syrupy tone she thought sounded diplomatic, "I'm the HOA president. I can authorize emergency openings." I told her I had the whole thing recorded, our conversation, the cut lock, the timeline. She laughed, said maybe it was time the board found a new maintenance guy who understood how to build community. That night, her party went on anyway. Most folks kept out of the water, probably because of the odd chemical fog hovering over the surface, but not Brianna. Oh no, she made a big deal about diving in for a photo op. Stayed in long enough for pictures, then got out fast, her skin already showing the early signs of chemical burn. Next morning, she banged on my door threatening to have me removed. Claimed I'd sabotaged the pool. I calmly showed her the receipts, photos, recordings, reports. Her face went redder than a tomato, and she stormed off, shouting over her shoulder that this wasn't over. And she was right. It wasn't. Because that's when I decided to teach her a lesson she wouldn't forget. See, I wasn't about revenge. I was about consequences. You destroy property, ignore rules, put people in harm's way, you don't get to keep pretending you're queen of the cul-de-sac. So I started planning. Through some old engineering buddies. I got my hands on a biodegradable polymer gel, the kind they use in kid obstacle races. Totally safe, environmentally friendly, but it turns into this thick, clingy slime when agitated in water. It doesn't hurt anyone, but it sticks to skin and fabric like you wouldn't believe. Takes hours of scrubbing to get off. Perfect. Then the neighborhood grapevine delivered gold. Brianna was planning another bash, this one for her birthday. Saturday evening. Her way of reminding everyone who's in charge, she reportedly said. So, Friday night, after the pool area was clear, I got to work. Drained 6 inches of water from the pool. Enough room to add the mix. Pumped in my slime cocktail, just the right concentration, with a splash of bright green food dye for flair. By morning, the water looked maybe a little cloudy, but nothing suspicious. I even swapped out the lock she'd cut with a lookalike. Then I went home, waited, and smiled. Saturday came with perfect weather. Around 7 p.m., the guests started arriving. I took up position on my garden bench. Brianna showed up in a white designer swimsuit, holding a glass of champagne like she was on a Bravo reality show. "Let's show the fun police they don't run this place," she hollered, and folks actually cheered. She climbed the diving board, raised her glass, and made a dramatic toast. Then, splash. And that's when the slime woke up. First, it was just her. Then the ooze started clinging, thickening, turning neon green and sticky. She emerged from the water looking like she'd been slimed on a game show from hell. Her hair turned into slimy tentacles, her suit stuck to her like saran wrap. She tried to wipe it off, which only made it worse. People laughed, at first, thinking it was some prank. Then more guests jumped in. Chaos. Screaming, thrashing, green muck flying everywhere. One woman's hair extensions floated off like seaweed. A guy's toupee drifted by like a soggy rat. Phones came out, not to call for help, but to record every second. Within minutes, social media lit up. Hashtags like #poolpartyfail and #slimebudget started trending. And there stood Brianna, shrieking at people to stop filming, threatening lawsuits. Looking like a melted Jolly Rancher. Someone, one of her own book club lawyers, gently reminded her that she'd broken into the pool, again, during a chemical cleaning, with guests. And no authorization. Maybe don't talk lawsuits, sweetheart. By Sunday morning, the HOA's inbox was full of complaints. Folks mad about ruined swimsuits, dry cleaning bills, or being left out. Photos of the slime trail across the pool deck and sidewalks were everywhere. Monday morning, the board called an emergency meeting. I brought my full report, photos, receipts, the timeline. Brianna came in late, still a little green around the edges, literally. She tried to cry sabotage. The board wasn't having it. The president, Judge Franklin Miles, a retired circuit court judge with a poker face carved from granite, cut her off mid-rant. "Did you or did you not cut the lock and host an event during a posted maintenance window?" She tried to dodge. He pulled out the photos, the documentation. She finally muttered a yes. For the good of the community. 2 motions were voted on. 1. Remove her as HOA president effective immediately. 2. Ban her from all community facilities for 6 months. Both passed, unanimously. But Judge Miles wasn't done. He announced the HOA insurance company was reviewing the incident, and Brianna might be personally liable for the $8,000 in damages. New filters, a full drain and scrub, compensation for residents. Then he turned to me and said, "The board has also approved a modest budget to compensate our maintenance coordinator for his time." I nodded, politely. But the real paycheck was the look on Brianna's face. A week later, she got slapped with a civil suit and a 30-day suspension on her real estate license after someone sent the viral videos to the state board. She cut a check for $12,000 in settlement, eyes narrowed. Hands shaking. I'll remember that look forever. So yeah, that's the story. I didn't do it for revenge. I did it to prove that rules aren't suggestions, especially not for those who think they're above them. Anyway, thanks for hanging with me through this one. I gotta ask, what would you have done? Was I too petty, or just right? Drop a comment below, and let's talk about what real community looks like, and who gets to decide what leadership really means.